So, Donald Trump's private Boeing 7557, the gold-plated symbol of his empire. The plane he's flown for decades is parked on a tarmac right now, and it's not going anywhere. A federal judge just issued an emergency order grounding the aircraft as part of a sweeping asset freeze hitting Trump-esque global holdings. We're talking properties, bank accounts, investment portfolios locked down while the courts sort through what could be the most devastating financial ruling of his life. And here's the kicker. Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, just went on CNBC and said something that should make every American investor sit up straight. He called this the most predictable financial collapse he's seen in his career. It's hard to believe we're watching this happen in real time. This isn't just about one man's legal troubles anymore. This is a reckoning that could reshape American business, politics, and the very concept of accountability for the powerful. Trust me, what happens in the next few weeks could determine whether our institutions can function when tested by someone who spent decades bending every rule to his advantage. Let me break down what's been happening behind the scenes. Donald Trump, the man who built his identity on being a billionaire dealmaker, slapping his name in gold letters on casinos, hotels, and even a fake university, the man who rode down that escalator in 2015, promising he was too rich to be bought and too successful to fail, has spent decades operating in a gray zone between aggressive business tactics and outright fraud, from the Trump Foundation shutting down for self-dealing to Trump University paying $25 million to settle fraud claims to the Trump organization being convicted of tax fraud. Trump always managed to stay one step ahead through lawsuits, settlements, and bankruptcy loopholes. His brand was built on the image of untouchable wealth, backed by an army of lawyers. But here, as the twist, we read now 3 weeks into what legal experts call the most comprehensive asset preservation order ever issued against a former president. Trump's real estate holdings are frozen. Investment accounts are inaccessible. Business operations are under court-appointed monitors. This all comes after New York Attorney General Letitia James won a $454 million civil fraud judgment, and Trump's appeals have been rejected at every level. The appellate court upheld the ruling. Emergency motions were denied. Requests for stays were flat out rejected. And who's caught in the middle? Donald Trump, watching his empire get locked down piece by piece. The courts aren't interested in negotiating tactics. They want accountability and the law enforced. Let's be clear, this isn't about pity. Trump inflated his net worth by billions to get better loans while deflating property values to dodge taxes. This is about whether someone can commit massive fraud and walk away because they're re-famous and rich. Reports from late October revealed just how panicked Trump's legal team was getting. Judge Arthur Ingron, presiding over the fraud trial, called Trump's latest appeal frivolous and said it showed a pattern of delay tactics to frustrate creditors. Strong words. Essentially, the judge was calling Trump out for trying to hide assets while claiming he couldn't possibly post the bond money. And this wasn't private. Judge Ingron made it public. The announcement sent shockwaves through financial circles. Trump, self-proclaimed multi-billionaire, couldn't post a bond. What did that say about all the claims of his net worth over the years? Was the empire a house of cards? Trump's loyalty only extends to himself. When institutions stop bending to his will, he turns on them. Think Jeff Sessions, loyal from the start, humiliated when he followed Doge ethics rules. Bill Barr, loyal through Mueller and impeachment, turned on when he refused to propagate election fraud claims. Mike Pence, loyal vice president, abandoned when he refused to overturn the 2020 election. Kevin McCarthy, loyal to a fault, ousted when he couldn't deliver Trump's impossible demands. Now, our legal and financial systems are under pressure. Institutions can bend over backward for Trump, give every benefit of the doubt, extend deadlines, but the moment they enforce the law, he attacks them. So what triggered this asset freeze? Simple. Trump lost a civil fraud case with a $454 million judgment. To appeal, he had to post a bond. Instead, he claimed he couldn't possibly secure it while insisting he was worth billions. New York acted to protect taxpayers and fraud victims. Property sat with liens attached, nobody willing to bend the rules. Trump filed emergency appeals, refused the judgment, and tried to drag things out politically. Some conservative commentators supported the fight, praising his standing up to persecution. But as the appeals dragged on, issues arose. Asset values dropped. Insurance companies hesitated. International banks got nervous. The Trump Organization's solvency was questioned. Banks value stability, predictability, and legal compliance. They don't want exposure to fraud judgments. Trump tried avoiding the bond, considered selling properties at fire sale prices, or bringing in questionable foreign investors. Judge Ingron caught wind and slammed him, claiming poverty while owning billions was clearly gaming the system. Offshoring assets, evidence of bad faith, defying court orders while appealing, flight risk, and ongoing fraud. Trump's dilemma: maintain the billionaire image or comply with the law. Keep pretending he's wealthy and his legal situation worsens. Admit financial reality and the mythology crumbles. Either way, decades of inflated claims catch up. Financial and political circles are stressed. Every bank, investor, and donor wonders what else was fabricated. Moderate Republicans worry about their credibility. MAGA hardliners double down on claims of persecution. Deutsche Bank, long tied to Trump, quietly distances itself. October 26, Letitia James filed an emergency motion in the appellate court, citing violations and potential criminal conduct. Evidence showed asset shuffling, foreign loan attempts, and trust manipulations. Judge Barbara Kapnick acted quickly. Every day Trump shuffled assets made recovery harder. The ruling: Trump's actions were unconstitutional attempts to place himself above the law. Legal experts call this unprecedented. Drew Weissman said any competent attorney would have known these delay tactics would backfire. Drew Savance noted that fraud judgments combined with defiant public statements create catastrophic risk. Criminal exposure and contempt could be coming. This isn't just a legal story. It has consequences for politics and the financial system. Trump's approval ratings among independents are down. Republicans in swing districts are nervous. This billionaire who can't post $500 million doesn't inspire confidence. Democrats will highlight Trump's defiance and argue for accountability. Gangs and regulators had no choice. They let him shuffle assets. Financial accountability collapses. Civil judgments exist to ensure consequences apply to everyone. Trump, craving control and special treatment, threatens that principle. If he avoids this judgment, it sets a dangerous precedent. Political figures can defy the law indefinitely. The implications extend far beyond Trump. This affects the structure of American accountability for years to come. Each time powerful people ignore the rules, it normalizes unacceptable behavior. Democracy relies on laws applying equally. If fraud goes unpunished for the wealthy, the system falters. Looking toward the 2024 elections, this story will matter. Trump battling institutions, losing in court, and claiming persecution affects voter perception. Suburban and independent voters want stability, not chaos. Democrats will push a message of restoring normal governance and accountability. So here's the reality. Trump's jet is grounded, his assets are frozen, and Warren Buffett calls it a predictable financial collapse. This isn't just about money. It's about whether the law applies equally or whether wealth and power create a permanent shield against accountability. The grounded jet is just the beginning. The coming weeks will show whether courts enforce basic accountability or whether the house of cards survives.